The stream is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Bonjour,
Dungeons and
dragon.
Uh, I'm Christiana Ellis, and I'm the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Starla Hodgson as Carolina Swift,
Hello, friends.
Jenny Meltzer as Zaylene, Mark Guilfoyle as Vertigo,
Bonsoir tout le monde.
and Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn.
Good evening.
So why are you speaking French?
I have been electrocuted. It does things to the mind.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
Someday I'll
Idiot.
play a
Isn't that what
character
they
like
all
that.
do?
It'll be
Asked
silly
and
and ridiculous and fun.
Sadly, we did not have an episode last week because a couple of us were traveling. Jenny was having a whole lot of fun doing Gen Con stuff. And I was at a cleaning validation conference, which is very exciting if you're into cleaning validation. Anyway.
But
It's a
was
valid
Neil
thing.
Noob
I
on
am,
there?
I don't think so.
Like he should have been,
Oh, well.
because he makes everything better. He really does.
All right. So, in any case, we last left our heroes, the Pocket Protectors, in kind of a tricky situation. You have infiltrated the fortress of the Pillarines, the cult of sorts that has set themselves as guardians of the Pillar, an ancient Titan artifact of unknowable power, and discovered that they were planning to blow up a significant fraction of the world, and thought, maybe you should stop them. And so you have infiltrated their fortress. You have found the means by which you can shut down their superweapon. But as things stand, there's a lot of other stuff going on. For one, the base has also been infiltrated by a bunch of extraplanar chaos monsters, which is occupying a lot of the Pillarines' forces. But their leader has come to stop you personally. And so, although you have shut down the Arcane Core's primary power supply, he has people working to reactivate the backup. You've also been fighting. The combat has been happening. And let's just do a roll call. Buster, unconscious. Zaylene is currently charmed and under the thrall of the leader of the Pillarines. Vertigo has stuck his hands into a bunch of magic wires and has zapped himself in a way that may or may not be helpful. Carolina, are you still mind zapped so that you can't see everybody, or did we fix that? I think we did fix it near the end.
Don't remember.
Okay, well, so we'll say you're still mind zapped then, so you can't see your friends, and Zinhorn is, more or less fine, like stressed perhaps by all the rest of the
almost
stuff
out
happening.
of spells.
Yeah, but has not taken a lot of damage personally.
No.
I did just try to stab him though, so
Yeah.
there was
No,
that.
and you did some damage. You did a whole 5 points of damage to him.
Yep.
But yes, in any case, though, the also in the mix somewhere is that in this base is your old friend Percival Cankers, who has been a thorn in your side for a long time and has recently caused much of the chaos that is currently happening in the world by making it to the Pillar and performing some kind of a wish, perhaps. Unclear. He was taken captive by the Pillarines, but now seems to be at large somewhere. So, did I miss anything? Or are we ready to resume our combat already in progress?
I think we got it.
Okay. I just realized that I have a thing on my turn tracker that I had forgotten was in the mix. Now I have to remember where I put them on the GM layer. Let's see. Oh, okay.
This
I remember.
just keeps getting better.
No. So don't have to worry about that yet. Zinhorn, it is your turn. Buster is unconscious at the feet of this Lord of the Pillarines, and also they are between you and I think you have also just seen that through that corridor on the other side, there are more Pillarines who seem to be trying to start up the other power supply that you have not sabotaged yet. Also, Zaylene just tried to stab you.
Yeah, I think she actually succeeded.
She did, yeah.
And Nedry is got glowy eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Vertigo, technically, but
Vertigo,
close
sorry. I think, do I have to say what my actions are going to be if I'm going to hold them to see what he does?
Yes, you do have to hold. So if you want to hold an action, you do have to say A, what the action you're holding is, and B, what would trigger it.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to use Healing Word on Buster.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my bonus attack to hit the Lord of the Pillarines with the magic. Yeah, that thing.
The spiritual weapon.
Thank you. Those are the words.
Yes. Well.
Okay.
Well done.
So, first and foremost, Buster has 8 hit points.
Okay.
Let me give them to Buster. Hooray! Buster is back up.
Yes. I suppose technically we should have had Buster do a death saving throw on his turn. But
he did.
Oh, he did. We did. So I thought we left at the end of the round. So, but it doesn't matter now that because whether he had passed it or failed it, it doesn't matter because he is now no longer unconscious.
Okay.
All right. So let's roll for your spiritual weapon.
I'm getting there. There we are. Nope. Yeah, there we are. $19.
Okay, that's 19 to hit. That does in fact hit. Nice. That's a pretty significant hit. He is, rocked by that one and looks aggravated. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
That I think is all that I can do. Healing. Healing Word would count as I could use it as a bonus attack, or bonus thing, but I didn't. So I won't.
You're actually, now that I think about it, Healing Word is supposed to be a bonus action, and attacking with your spiritual weapon is also supposed to be a bonus action, which I will still allow that to happen, but that would also count. I'm letting you basically do 2 bonus actions instead of an action this round.
Well, right. I'm just trading in an action for a bonus action.
Yeah, usually that's not allowed, but I will allow it in this case
okay.
just to not go backwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So, if you're going to stay put where you are for the moment, then we'll leave you where you are.
Okay.
Unless you want to move. I mean, you tell me.
Nope.
All right.
Well.
Yes or no?
Yet. Well, yes.
3,
yes,
2,
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
Yes.
Tell me.
All right. I moved there.
All right. Make an opportunity attack, Zaylene. Zinhorn has just moved away from you. All right, that's a 20 to hit, looks like, with her Shade Blade.
That will hit.
All right.
Ow! Shailene, stop
So-
it.
So that's 11 because you're not undead, so it doesn't count the extra.
Oh.
So 11 necrotic, but
All right, 11 damage.
You
All right.
will be when I'm done with you, apparently.
all right. Okay, so there is some stuff happening that you are not aware of at the moment. Vertigo, you had attempted to use your understanding of the various types of magical power that are streaming through this place to try to do the equivalent of grabbing a power line and hoping to shoot lightning out of your fingers. But you rolled really high to do that. You are currently feeling, though, as though you have so much energy trying to course through you at the moment that it is potential that you could discharge it, doing a lot of damage, but not having a lot of careful control over where it goes. Or you can try to contain it at the potential to damage to yourself. Or you can try to channel it into some other kind of spell, potentially supercharging it, but risk of taking some damage to yourself as well. And I'm not going to give you any more specifics than that because as Vertigo, you don't know. You have a vague sense that you are filled with this power at the moment, but you can't just hold it. It needs to go somewhere or else it's going to cause damage.
Yep. Even in the midst of all of this, I suspect that Vertigo would be theorizing and putting out a lot of the things he's been exposed to over the last several months and trying to put it all together. And shakingly, he'll reach out with the other hand toward the bag and summon forth out of the bag something he thinks might be able to help.
Oh.
One of the 4 orbs that he took from the Wyvern constructs, ones that are intended to hold chaotic energy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're hoping to just to like charge up those batteries, so to speak.
To combination of bleeding off some of the energy that's coursing through him and giving it
Okay.
a place to go, which can be more stable potentially.
All right. Make a. I guess I was gonna say like your spell casting bonus, but you know what? Just go ahead and make an Arcana.
Okay. Oh, crapped out. Only an 11.
Wow. Okay, but that 11 people should understand is a natural one. Not that natural ones necessarily mean a fumble with an ability check, but it's certainly not good. And this is a very dangerous, complicated thing that you're
I
doing.
wonder if I have. Trying to remember. I've played too many characters, and I'm trying to remember if I have an ability to fix that.
To re-roll somehow, or
Yeah, I thought I had something, but I don't see it here. So,
okay.
um,
Well, I
Are
think
Are you a halfling?
no,
Or okay,
he's a gnome.
I was gonna say because
Gnome.
halflings have that luck.
yeah. Well, I think what happens in this case is that you are going to take 13 points of force damage, Nedry,
Oh.
and get blasted backwards 5 feet into the wall.
Okay.
And I think you drop that one thing. However, you think that like you still think it's theoretically possible. It was just somehow you fumble fingers, I think you land there and you look at the thing where it's sitting on the floor smoking, and you realize, oh, it's got a positive and a negative, and you're trying to do it backwards, and zapped yourself. So I think that's your action. Do you have any other bonus action or movement?
Well, movement would be to stand back up again
Sure.
and step over cautiously.
Mhm.
Bonus actions. What do I have for bonus actions? I have a lot of bonus actions. Bonus action, theorize.
Okay. Yeah. Incidentally, you have not discharged all of the magical power in yourself yet.
Oh, okay.
This is like you still have supercharged yourself. You discharged some of it. But it's not gone.
Okay.
I think one of the things that you also would recognize here is that what you actually had the ability to connect to is not the power supply, but rather the wires that lead to the arcane core.
Oh, okay.
Because you shut down the power supply, and then you were, chopping through the wires that connect it to the arcane core. And so there was residual energy in there. All right. So in any case, that's Vertigo's turn. Lynn, how about you?
So I'm still in that state that I can't see anybody but the main guy, right?
Unless you think that you did beat it before. I can't
Oh no,
remember.
there's no way. I don't think I could possibly
Yeah,
beat it.
okay.
Like I just don't have the I have it +0. I can't. So,
Alright.
but that also means
Yeah.
I don't see the pillarines that are in this room, right?
Right. No, you only see the Lord of the Pillarines, but you see he's clearly like doing stuff and reacting to, individuals you can't see. Stuff is happening.
Did he say anything recently? I'm trying to remember if he would have said anything about the power supply in this room.
I don't think so, because
Okay.
I only even just revealed that the others were in here at the very end of the last session.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since I don't know anything
I
else
mean-
that is going on.
Oh crap! I do have that ability. Sorry, I did find I do have that ability.
Yeah,
Magical guidance.
Okay.
When I make an ability check that fails, I can spend sorcery points to re-roll. But I won't do it this time. He's learning a lesson. But
Sure.
sorry, I'm
No,
excited.
that's good to know for next time. All right. So, but Lynn, the other piece, of course, that you would be able to see is that something is beating this guy up, right? Like he's clearly in combat with someone, and you can probably assume who that is.
Can I?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't see anybody, so I mean, I don't know where anybody else is, so I'm just gonna cast Shatter on him.
Okay. Okay, here's the thing. Are you just targeting directly on him?
Yeah, I can't
Okay.
see anybody
Yeah.
else. I can't, like, nothing, so.
Okay. So he's going to make, I believe it's a Constitution saving throw for that. And Buster
Yes.
needs to make one as well.
Sorry,
Okay.
Buster.
Or Buster.
All right. Our Lord of the Pillarines got a 24.
Yeah, that'll beat it.
Yeah. So I think he still is going to take half of that 18 thunder damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And Buster got a 13.
Which is a fail. So unfortunately, I believe he's
And Buster
unconscious
goes
again.
back down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you see that this guy is starting to, like, he's taken a beating. He's definitely past bloodied at this point, starting to look a little desperate.
And then nope, not doing don't have anything else that I really can do. So I wonder I'm kind of curious if I leave the area, if some of this effect wears off, like if it has to be within a certain radius of him.
Mhm.
Um, so with that in mind, I'm going to move.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm moving over here.
All right. Okay. So that's your turn. Um,
That is my turn.
Zaleen, in your head telepathically, this guy is looking to you and saying, "Help me."
He's fighting Buster.
Buster's down again.
Yeah, I know.
I think you're also seeing him injured too, so that would be
Oh
another
yeah.
way that you could interpret "help me."
Yeah, I will. Let's see here. What can I do? I can do life transference
Ooh,
at level 4.
nice,
So that will give him 28 hit points.
nice. I cheer for your excellent move here in helping the bad guy because you're currently
Yeah.
charmed. Okay, so is that
I
like
take
how does you're
56. I think I'm reading.
whoa, okay. Yeah, because you're doing it to yourself, right?
Yep. So I
Okay.
take 56 necrotic damage.
Wow. All right. Wait, no, I think okay, no, I think I'm reading it I think the healing is twice the necrotic damage the other way. So if you
Oh.
take 28 necrotic, he would gain 56.
So if he gains 28, then
Well, so
I'm reading. Hang on, let me
okay,
look
sure.
again. I have to like process it in my
Yeah,
brain.
that's all
You
right.
take 4d8 necrotic damage, so I take 28 and he gets 56.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, I think the rest of uh, Zinhorn and Vertigo, you definitely just see um, Zaleen seems to like. What does it look like when you do this spell?
I think that you see like the veins in her face sort of like flash black,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like disease just like coursing through her veins, like all the way down on all of her exposed skin.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I think it's um, yeah. So as that's happening, and you suddenly see he's looking a lot healthier at the moment. Um, I think that makes it his turn, unless you had any other.
I'm actually going to move. If I move past this way, does Paul get an opportunity
I
attack?
mean, he potentially could. It's up to Zinhorn whether he takes it or not.
Wait, wait a minute. I just took damage. Do I get to make a roll?
Oh yes, yeah. So you go ahead and make your wisdom save with advantage to try to break the charm. Okay. There you go. So, with that 25, as you take that damage and you feel your own life essence, being siphoned out of you, a part of you wakes up, shakes your head, and realizes that what has just, what he's been doing to you is that he has been controlling you telepathically.
Can I make a perception check to see if he notices
Sure. Yeah.
that the spell is broken?
Well, so here's the thing. I think you know that he will notice because
Okay.
it is specifically a telepathic control on you that he was actively using. And so to sever
Okay.
that connection, he would know it.
All right.
I kind of like the idea of you play acting it, but I just think in the fiction,
Yeah.
it's like that's what would happen. All right, so but yes, you would still have your movement and bonus action then, I think.
I am going to. I don't think I can do anything on my bonus action because I cast a spell and all of my bonus actions are spells.
Sure. Okay.
Um, actually, I'm going to cast Hexblade's Curse on him.
I also just
It's
realized
not even
I
a-
wasn't
it's not a
showing the map
spell.
on the stream. Here we go. Okay, Hexblade's Curse.
Yep,
All right.
on that guy.
All right, I'll have that be this little yellow dot. As a reminder, the purple dot is because he is already under the effect of the Vidunme Dex Woe feature. So he's still pretty annoyed by that.
And then I'm gonna move over here, and I'm gonna pass Zinhorn and use a free action to be like, sorry.
All
And
right.
that's it.
Okay.
He's just like, okay, I got.
Here, I'll take this little symbol off of you. Okay. All right. So now it is his turn. And he sees Lynn moving away. And with his current state, the way he is being influenced here, yeah, he is. He's coming after you, Lynn. So I think. I think for one, he is going to. Yeah, he's going to lash out at you with these tentacle attacks. The first one is a 30 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So that is 16 psychic damage, and you are grappled. And then I think he is actually going to hit you with another one of those. Let's see. That's a 21 to hit for another 32 psychic damage.
I have 1 hit point.
Whoa. Okay. And then he is going to.
He throws a thumbtack at you.
Well, I think you know what. Here's the thing. The Vidunme deck, we haven't really established like it's not a concentration effect. Like it doesn't. It's mechanically it isn't that. So presumably would happen. But he also doesn't know what's doing it. So I think he is not inclined to play nice here. So he is going to. Yeah, I think while he's got you in his grip, he's just going to mind blast you. And I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
17.
Yeah. It was almost like making you roll for it is almost a little bit mean because you're going to take half damage anyway. But you are, in fact, going to take another 36 psychic damage. And then I think he, as part of that whole movement, he kind of just tosses you to the ground there. And then I think shouting back to the rest of you in the room here, he's going to move back up to here, I think. He's just saying, let's see, what is he saying? He's saying, oh, this is all wasted effort. If the pillar is not freed, its anger will continue poisoning the soul of all the planes. You are standing in the way of the new harmony. Which, like, you don't have to agree with him, but that is what he says.
I never was much good at musical theory. I
Okay.
kind of like silence better.
Mm-hmm. So it is Buster's turn. He needs to make a death saving throw again.
Okay, and
Just a base d20.
oh. $16.
Okay, so that's one success.
Okay.
All right. And then Zinhorn, it is your turn.
Yep. I didn't want to do this, but I have to. I can see Lynn.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
10, 20, 30, 40.
And,
Yeah, I think you're just under 60 feet away.
mass cure wounds can hit up to 6 creatures. So that's all of my friends.
What's the range of mass cure wounds?
60 feet.
All right, there you go.
And so mass cure wounds. Everybody gets 35.
Wow, there you go.
Me. So
Does that include me?
Yeah.
that includes you, yes.
You said 35.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Let me get Buster back up. Buster is like a freaking yo-yo. But he's back up. All right. So all y'all got 35 and
Okay.
I need to get back to booping him in the face with my weapon. Which
Can't believe I had him walk close enough that that he's in range for that.
hey, everybody makes a mistake sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
24.
All right.
10 points of damage.
Okay. Well, let's see, and that was a 24 to hit. Yep, 10
Yep.
points of damage. Okay. So, at the end of your turn, as you're looking through there, you can only kind of just see that there are some of these other pillarines at the console for this other power supply.
Mm-hmm.
But then what you see, did that go? I swear there was things that were on the tracker and then they moved off the tracker. I'm not sure how that happened exactly. But you see a weird, crazy little, like, horrible, like, spider snake monster thing scuttle into the room quickly and then just lay into one of these pillarines.
Yay!
And let's see. It gets, yeah, and it does a bite and a claw. Hits with both. And let's see, I needed to roll the damage for those. Okay, yeah, and it just tears one of those guys like just to pieces. And then you hear a familiar voice saying, "What's the holdup?" And it seems to be Percival's voice. he's standing in the doorway here, and I think he comes up here, and he's also going to cast a cantrip here. Let's see. I think, you know what? Just Ray of Frost for this other guy here. What? No. Okay. All right. He hits and does. Where is the thing that I've set up here is not as obvious as I for rolling is not as obvious as I would normally want it. But he does. Okay, for whatever. So here, I'm just. Yeah, and so he zaps the other one and freezes it and kills it. So in any case, Percival Cankers has just entered the combat.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't think you have seen him from where you are, Vertigo, but you certainly heard him shouting. First time in a long time you've heard his voice not in your head.
I take it he didn't enter in like, I don't see him on the tracker, so I don't know where he's gone. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that was Lynn.
That's all right.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was knocked unconscious, am
Yeah.
I still under the effect of his spell?
Well, you wouldn't know.
Well, she
Well,
can see
I would be
anybody
able to
else.
see other people.
Well, but you're unconscious, so you wouldn't be able to see them anyway.
Right, but I got healed. I woke up
Oh,
again.
you're right. Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. No, good point.
Just for my planning purposes, I kind of don't know how that works.
You were dead
I
for a
feel
while.
like
Does
you
that help?
weren't even unconscious for a whole round. So I think I don't think
Try,
that.
try staying dead for
I mean,
longer.
that's
See if that works
fair.
better.
I was just, I just wanted to clarify.
How about this? I will let you make an extra saving throw at the start of your turn. Wisdom.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. You might roll high. You never know.
Mm.
But no, I don't think she can actually roll high enough to succeed. All right.
In theory, you can. I think you can roll high enough to succeed. You just have to roll pretty high.
Can you inspire yourself? That's stupid.
Okay. Well, desperate times, desperate measures. But I know I can do this. And he's gonna try to bleed off the energy that's in him
Okay.
rather than reaching for the cords this time.
Sure.
So change up the scenario slightly and then try to reach down, pick up the little orb that was lost, dust it off a little bit from the
Okay.
burn mark on the side probably.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an Arcana roll again.
Yeah.
Okay. That's better.
Well, that's
29.
considerably better. Yes, you find that now that you kind of know the trick to it, this energy that is within you channels very naturally into this little small arcane core, and you realize that this partially discharged arcane core is now completely full. And you feel like you maybe have a little bit lingering, like you could have done a little more, but certainly you're out of danger from the buildup. But you have fully charged this arcane core now, and you presumably will do something with it at some point.
Yeah, I guess.
You're using your turns for it in the middle of intense combat, so hopefully you have a plan.
True.
You might be able to destroy the arcane core through the wires, right? Because they're connected to the core.
I was thinking along those lines, but I had to do one step at a time here.
Okay.
But I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I guess the only action would be to pull out another one of those little things. I have 4
Yeah.
of them, so. And then trying to charge it from the wires rather than me grab it. See, I'll do slightly different things.
Well, so I don't want you to. So tell, like, is the thought that you're going to try to destroy it through the wires? Was that the plan?
It's one of a dozen random thoughts that have come through my head.
What I'll say is I'll say is that you don't think that you can do the required amount of damage to it through those
Okay.
wires. Those wires are
And I've got-
designed to carry power to it.
And I've got a different plan then in mind.
So I just wanted you to not like waste 3 turns to do something that wasn't gonna have work. But like those wires, like the whole point of them is to carry power to the arcane core.
Mhm.
Like to send power through those wires would be to power it. Anyway, but
I have another bizarre and terrible plan.
okay, all right, I can't wait to hear it. So that was your turn then.
Yes.
Okay, Lynn, you're up. I think as you blink awake, you look to see where the Lord of the Pillarines has kind of wandered away again, and then you also see Percival with a horrible little spider snake demon thing that seems to be
Do I see
obeying him. Yes, the thing is worn off. I've just decided because I keep forgetting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Were they able to get this generator back on again? Can I tell?
It looks like it might have it not all the way. Like they have initiated the startup routine, but they weren't finished. It's not currently running. You don't know what all is needed, but it doesn't seem like it is charged up in the way that it was before you initially turned it off.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am going to make sure that they can't get any further with it.
Hmm.
And I'm going to cast Shatter on the console.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for it.
Don't know why I scrolled away. Okay.
Okay.
21.
All right. Yeah, you watch as like sparks fly out from the well, you're not on the side where the console is, but you see some sparks flying up from behind it, and you see part of the like the casing seems to have like bulged out. You wouldn't necessarily say it's completely destroyed, but it is certainly damaged. All right.
All right. And then I'm going to move. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here.
Okay. Percival gives you a nod like your teammates, and he's acknowledging your plan. Okay, so that is Lynn's turn. Zaleen.
I have no idea what's going on because
Mhm.
Vertigo is like Frankenstein over here.
He's busy
and-
doing something. His eyes aren't glowing quite as much as they were a second ago.
I am going to pursue that jerk.
Hmm.
And then from up here, I'm going to Eldritch Blast him 3 times.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Well, the 11 will miss.
1.
26 will hit. 15 will not.
I
So,
will Eldritch Blast him 1 time.
all right. It's better than 0 for
3 damage.
sure. All right.
And then
Got him back into 2 digits after having healed him for 56.
yep. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Lynn.
Okay. All right.
at level 4. So you get back 14 more.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so um, after is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. So at this point, the Lord of the Pillarines is just seeming like he's kind of losing it. He's looking a lot more sort of disheveled and emotional, and he's just saying, "You would all condemn the planar universe to chaos." And you see, suddenly he seems like he's doing the anime like, "Ah!" and he's like, if, like his hair is like floofing out, and there's like a little like aura that's charging up around him. And I need everyone within 60 feet of him to make a wisdom saving throw.
We don't consider these spells, right?
Hmm?
We don't consider these spells, right?
No. In fact, actually, per the stat block, they're actually psionic powers.
Yeah.
Well, but for that matter, this thing that he's doing right now is a villain action, so it's not even
Right.
an ordinary psionic power.
I rolled a natural
That's bad.
20 for 30.
Okay, that's pretty good. That'll be a success.
This game hates me.
So let's see. I do need to have Percy and his little critter make their throws. That's a fail. And that's also a fail. Okay. So if you got a 19 or better, then you're going to take half damage of 47. So 23 psychic damage if you saved. If you did
Really?
not save, you are going to take 47 psychic damage and you are dazed. Which means that...
Resistant means I take half, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would, so you failed the save, but you would still take only 23 instead of 47. However, you are still dazed. So everyone who failed, stunned is not dazed. So dazed is, you can only do one of the following things on your turn. Use an action, move, or use a bonus action. And so, that's what dazed means.
Okay.
So, who all is dazed?
And Buster and I are.
Me.
Everyone but Zaleen, I think.
Okay. All right. Wait, no, never mind. Hang on. I'm doing something wrong. What was his thing? Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. He definitely. Yeah. But yes, the little creature thing that Percival had summoned is dead. And then he looks like he's dazed as well. I'm putting a red dot on everyone who's dazed because it doesn't it does last until you beat the save. Who is it? Only Zaleen who's not? Okay.
So circlet or wisdom or something for
Okay.
Lynn, I think, has to happen someday if we
Right.
survive all this.
Also, I think you're holding concentration on your intellect fortress, right?
Oh, it's
Oh,
long
for
gone.
that. Oh, right. So never mind. Okay. So is Buster still up then?
No, Buster's
Oh,
back down,
Okay. Yeah. All right.
but he failed before he took the damage.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was his turn, and then I think he's using his movement to like come back around here to the console to try to figure out if that's salvageable. You don't know what his conclusion is there, but it is Buster's turn, so I guess he's again making a first death saving throw.
Okay.
And that's a 14. So that's again one success.
Okay.
Zinhorn, it is your turn. You can
Um,
you can only move, action, or bonus action.
then I am going to. Well, don't I get to roll for me
Um,
for
when
the wisdom saving throw
I assume,
for the dazed
well, you do that at the end of your turn.
at the end of my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I am going to cast Healing Word and try and get Buster back up again.
All right.
11 points
Okay.
on Buster. He is back up.
All right. So you now can repeat your wisdom saving throw. I think Buster wouldn't be dazed because he was unconscious.
Okay, and wisdom saving throw for me. This game
Okay. Unfortunately, yeah, an 11
yeah,
isn't going to
no.
do it. Okay. It is now Percival's turn. And he is like, blinking and rubbing his eyes. And he is going to. He looks extremely pissed. And those of you who can see him, which is probably really, well, I guess, Zaleen, you probably have a pretty good look. You might get a little glimpse of this, Lynn. He looks like he's casting something really, really powerful. And he casts it on, he casts it on this, the Lord of the Pillarines, who is hit with this powerful impact and is just immediately he looks like he is like he is stunned, and he's just like immediately sort of like staggering back, and his eyes just are kind of glassy, and he's sort of just staring into space.
What are the red marks for?
That is for the dazed condition, which I guess I remember that
Yeah.
you shouldn't have it. So yes, that's what that was supposed to be.
Okay.
So yes, he has just walloped the Lord of the Pillarines, who is now stunned, which is, a big deal. That's like worse than dazed because it means you can't take any actions. But then he needs to make his own attempt to beat the daze. He does. But that's the end of his turn. Okay, Vertigo.
Thinking is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll latch on to the last thought he had, reaches into the bag and pulls out a strange-looking jug.
All right.
And that's his turn.
Okay, you can make repeat the wisdom saving throw against the
Oh,
daze.
right.
Oh,
there
look
you
at
go.
that.
30,
Yeah.
20.
You are no longer dazed. Okay, Lynn.
All right, so he's just standing there glassy-eyed, right?
Yeah.
So he should be an easy target.
Yes. Attack rolls would be at advantage against him right now.
Okay. Well, then gonna try my where are they? My freezing spears.
Okay. All right.
That one didn't work. 19 for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And 11 for the last one.
Well, remember, are you rolling with advantage? So the
Oh,
the
you're
first
right, I'm
one is a
not.
19.
That's better.
Okay. Second one is a 26.
We have a 12 and a 17.
Okay. A 17, I think, What was his AC? I think a 17 misses. Yes. So, but that is 2 hits.
I have 6 and 2.
All right.
So 8 total. But his speed is also
Yep.
yeah. So by
So-
reduced by 10 feet since I hit him with 2.
Mm-hmm. All right. And now
Yep.
you can repeat your wisdom save to see if you're still dazed.
What did you say the
You're trying to beat 19.
yeah, no, there's
Yeah.
no way.
So you could roll a 19 or a 20. So technically you have a 10%
I could.
chance. It's not impossible. All right. So that was Lynn's turn. Zaleen.
So if I wanted to make him make a saving throw, like if I wanted to do something that would cause him to make a saving throw, how would that work if he is stunned?
He will automatically fail strength or dexterity saves. The other ones are not affected. But he is already still under the woe thing, so he's making others at disadvantage.
I'm going to try to cast this dang gish spell again.
Okay.
So yeah, he will have to make a wisdom 18.
Okay. Let me do that just a second. I'm double checking what his whole thing is. Okay. He makes a wisdom saving throw. He's pretty good at those, but rolling with disadvantage, so he gets an 11.
Okay, so he is now under my magical command
Ooh, okay.
Oh, nice.
for the next
That's
30
good.
days.
Hmm. Well, he can resist and potentially take damage.
He can
Right.
only do that once a day
Well,
for the
okay.
next 30 days.
No, the damage can only hit him once a day.
Oh, okay.
At least I want to double check, but that was always my understanding of the spell is that he can't
Yeah, he can only take it once per day.
right, but that doesn't mean he can't resist other than that.
No,
The way the
it
spell
just says-
works is not that he is magically convinced to do it. It's just that he knows if he doesn't, he will take the damage.
Right.
But he will only take it once a day. But that could potentially be a fair amount of damage.
Right.
Hmm.
So my first command would be to stop what he's doing.
Okay.
Stop this madness.
All right. And I think in your head you're hearing sort of a stilted like, how dare you? All right. Now Zaleen, and it is his turn now, and he is still stunned this turn, so he can't do anything anyway this turn. So I think that probably would not trigger the effect because he's not doing it yet. Like, so even if he would be resisting, he can't resist at all right now. But he is going to try to make another save to beat the stunned. And he has to roll it with disadvantage, which means that he does not beat the stun. He's pretty good at those, but with disadvantage sucks for him. All right. So he is still stunned on this next turn. So it's Buster.
Buster just knows anger at this point.
Mm-hmm. I'll allow Zaleen to sort of let him pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Buster is gonna go for his normal 3 attack
With advantage, because he's stunned.
with advantage.
Yeah.
15 to hit.
All right, and he
Right.
automatically fails the strength
Saving
saving
throw.
throw because he's stunned.
Okay. So that's 13 points.
Hang on, I'm double checking something because I think there's a thing where like attack rolls have. See, there's a thing that I thought meant that you like it melee attacks would automatically be crits, but that doesn't seem to actually be here in the rules. Oh, paralyzed does that. Paralyzed,
Okay.
not stunned. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Okay, so in any case, he does fail the save, and you do still have advantage on the claw attacks, and it does do the extra damage. So
Okay.
13 piercing from the bite, 18 from the first claw. And then 21 from the second. Yeah, that's yeah, he's not looking so happy again. Hmm.
Oh, thank you, Buster. And now it's Zinhorn's turn.
Hmm.
Zinhorn will get to roll at the end of his turn, so I can move this over here and hit him, right?
Yep.
Or at least attempt to
Yeah,
hit
so
him.
you're using your bonus action to do that. Yep.
Yep.
And he's prone, but yeah, he's stunned, so it's rolling with advantage for you as well.
Okay. Got a pair of 14s.
Okay, well,
Okay.
23s total. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
14 points of damage, and I re-roll my wisdom saving throw. Unfortunately, I don't get advantage for that.
All right.
I have rolled a 1, a 2, and a 4.
So yeah, so I think still dazed. All right,
Yep.
so it is now Percival's turn, and I think Zaleen, you're the one that's kind of most obviously in the room and able to like comprehend what's happening. So I think he looks to you. He looks down at this Lord of the Pillarine who's looking very injured, and still stunned. And he looks to you and he says, "You want the coup de grace?" So he will hold his action to attack with a cantrip if the Lord of the Pillarine stands up. But so then that would actually be a couple of other people in row still. But Vertigo is next.
There's too many theories for him to pursue at the moment, but everything
Mhm.
else seems to be quiet, so he can just sort of shut everything else for the moment, try to concentrate on the problem at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not really sure if I understand enough. Oh, one question I had:
Mhm.
the thing in the other room they're standing by, what was that again?
That was the primary power supply for like the base, right? But
Okay.
what you knew was even though these three smaller power supplies were for the arcane core specifically, the big one for the base could be directed straight to the arcane core and restart the countdown. But they didn't finish doing that. So you don't actually know what's the state of it. You know that they were working on that.
Okay. And aside from the core itself, that's the only. Well, we only know about that one
Right.
power system.
Well, so the other thing is that it's just one of those things where like the goal here is to try to make sure they can never start this back up again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the
Mm-hmm.
more damage the better. Like yeah,
Right.
you think it would be a mistake to leave anything in such a case in such a state that they could just fix it and start it over.
Hmm. And the problem is he's thinking of engineering solutions, and he's not an engineer. I'm
I
trying
mean, to some extent, like, we can let Nedry's roll. You don't necessarily have to think of it yourself, right? But tell me what you're thinking.
So the idea, in some ways, I thought the power system was elsewhere, so we weren't there's some other
Well,
power
so
system. they were trying to
here's
stop.
the issue.
Um,
The power supplies are in these two rooms. The arcane core, which is the thing that would detonate,
right.
that is elsewhere. That's in another
Right.
part of the base.
Okay.
And so what you
Um,
were told you needed to do is shut down the power and then blow up the arcane core, because if you didn't shut down the power first, it would be, destructive.
Okay.
So you
Um,
seem like you have just about finished step 1 of that, meaning to shut down the power and make sure they can't just turn it back on.
Yeah. And the internals are just whatever. There's no way you can know or understand what's in the middle anyway.
Well, you think that if you want to destroy the arcane core, you probably have to go to where the arcane core is.
Yeah. 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 I was kind of hoping. Well, I was kind of thinking. For some reason, I had in my mind that there was a power system somewhere else that could be turned on.
Mhm.
So I was reacting to that thought. But since that's
yeah.
not really
So
the case
there
anymore.
is, but it's just these 2 rooms, right?
Right.
So
Right.
you've
No, I was
already
thinking one we
sabotaged
hadn't
these
seen.
3 little ones, and then the one bigger one. That was it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's weird, but I'll follow through with kind of the original plan. And it's going to seem nonsensical, and maybe it's probably going to be nonsensical. But at this point, he's been kind of scrambled.
Mhm.
So with the item that he pulled out, which is the decanter of endless water,
Okay.
he's going to proceed to soak a line through the cords of all 3 of the power systems, trail it over to the main power system,
Mhm.
and then go back and crank up the 3 of them to see if they'll overcharge the main generator, thus destroying it.
Hmm. Well, so I like the idea. Right now, you still have Zaleen and Buster and the Lord of the Pillarines, who is not completely defeated yet,
Mhm.
all still in close proximity to that generator.
Oh, so it might explode. Yeah, that would be bad.
Well, I mean, it seems like you're trying to make it explode.
True.
Yeah.
Well, at least, yeah, overload, burnout, whatever.
Yeah. So how
Exploding
about
would be
this?
bad.
We can say you are setting up the first part of that, where you are chaining these 3 together.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
we're
there's a
not
sparkling
out of
line of wire,
initiative, so it's a
or-
question of like how much you can do in a round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he can't move very fast, so
Right.
it'll be a kind of action and move to
All
move
right.
as far as he
So
can.
make an Arcana check. You're pretty good at those. That's why I'm keep giving them to you.
Theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically. Yeah.
There's another one.
Oh no. Okay.
I
Well.
will this time remember that I have an ability
Yeah.
to spend a sorcery point to re-roll.
That's a good ability.
That is a good ability that I should have remembered the last time.
Uh-huh.
At least it's not a 1 this time. An 18 is not great.
Yeah. So I think you can make this work. You don't know that like just regular water by itself would be enough, but you have enough of a sense of how to like channel this magic that you're kind of using it like an arcane conduit, and it's not just like real water with real electricity. There's a magical property here that you're taking advantage of, and you think that you have got it changed together here, and that the remaining 2 steps of this plan would be to connect the trail over to the other one, and then to try to bump the power back up.
That's all I got.
All right. Okay. Lynn, it is your turn. You still have action, bonus action, or
Yeah.
movement.
I would hate to snipe the final blow from Celine, so gonna
I mean-
leave that be. I'm going to continue to move. Use the right cursor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I am going to stop here, and I want to peek around the corner.
Okay.
I don't know that I can do that this turn, just because
Sure.
limited to the one thing. So
It's dark out there. Like all the lights are shut off. So
do I
don't-
hear anything like footsteps? In particular? This is
you
what
hear
I'm looking for.
distant
Yeah.
sounds of combat? Nothing in the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't think like the fighting is done, but there's nothing like right around the corner. Okay.
Cool.
Zaylene, you're up. Buster has got him pinned, and he is still stunned. He's kind of like looking up at you, rolling his eyes over to kind of try to look your way, but his gaze is kind of glassy, and his jaw is kind of, oh.
So attacks against him are at advantage, right?
Correct.
I am going to Eldritch Blast him 3 times.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Roll with advantage. Okay, that'll hit. Okay, that's 2 hits. And I believe you've got 3 hits. Yep. So here's what I'll say. We could get into the finer points of whether that is quite the same number of hit points that he still had. But I think for all intents and purposes here, tell us how you finish him off.
I am so angry that he stole my life force and was inside my brain that I just like shriek like a banshee, and all 3 shots just come out at once, and they just shoot like into his eyes, and his head explodes.
All right. And then as you do that, Percival gives you a nod. So we are out of initiative for the moment, and he looks at this one damaged, and then kind of comes around here, giving Buster a wide berth, kind of eyeing him to make sure he's not going to suddenly get attacked, and then comes over to where he sees Zinhorn and Vertigo. So the dazed would only last a minute total anyway. So we'll say, like if you guys want to just kind of role play slowly coming out of it, that's fine. We don't have to keep it in the mechanical sense right now.
Okay.
But yeah, he comes around and just says, "So we're destroying the arcane core or what?"
Yeah, give us a minute, man.
Power first, then core.
Yeah.
Don't step on the water or step in the other room. It might
yeah,
be bad.
He looks down, kind of backs up. He does, like, he looks like he's still pretty cocky and everything, but he does look like pretty beat up. He's not in good shape. And he just kind of says, "That guy, in his arrogance, thought that he could get this done fast enough that it was fine to leave me with all my stuff. Do you know how insulting that is?"
I think we insulted him to death.
So he kind of just goes and leans against the wall, waiting for you to, he's leaning and got his arms folded with his like weird, like super overlong limbs. But he looks like he's just waiting for you to finish whatever you're doing.
Don't stand on the water. Please step out of the room.
All right.
Okay.
Everybody.
This may be
Moving out.
loud or dangerous. May not work.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna reopen these portals, so unsuppress them,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna stick my head through to holler at Nedry's like, "What are you doing? Come on, let's go."
And Vertigo would still be in that room to kind of make sure it starts from
Yeah.
here.
But this is
One
also to
moment.
give
Coming
him
with?
an easy exit, so he's small.
And once everybody's out of the room,
Mhm.
Zaylene,
Yeah.
Eileen?
He will try to close the circuit, and he will try to do it.
I
by
assume,
also
Zaline, you're moving out of the room? Yeah, okay. You hadn't moved your token. I wasn't sure. All right. Okay.
He will try to magically manipulate it as well through his knowledge of vortex warp, trying to kind of create a conduit solider than water,
Mm-hmm.
and leave the thing actually still spewing water to kind of keep it as a continuous stream,
All right.
and then try close the loop, close the circuit.
Okay. Make an Arcana check. Okay.
14.
14.
Okay.
I think 14 is enough that it works, but a little faster than you expected. So I'm going to you take 20 points of lightning damage as this sort of detonation kind of catches you up in it. You're not fully able to get away from it. But as you all hear sort of a burst and like and then some really bad smells as it looks like these things are just like melting in on themselves.
And
Yes.
Vertigo will pick himself up,
I think that worked. In other case, I don't really want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
steps through the portal.
Mm-hmm.
It's an awkward thing because I think the portal outside is on the floor and this one's on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would I'll give him a hand out just
Mhm.
because I was waiting for this.
Just need to get some momentum and, running into it,
Yep.
I have to trust it. That's
We
weird.
gotcha, brother.
Okay. First step done. Where's the core?
Percival says, I can show you. We're going to have to go down there, though. And he's gesturing through the big open thing in the floor. So it's like the elevators aren't working right now because someone turned off the power.
Mm.
That's good confirmation. Thank you.
How far down is it from here?
I think what we said before is that it was like 40 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello?
so this is
Vulture
this is the
barely
big hangar
standing.
mezzanine, right? So
Yeah.
below you is the big sort of vehicle hangar.
Can the hither thither staff?
I'm looking because I believe I have one charge left.
Does anyone
Close
have a
both
rope?
portals, suppress the portal. Yeah. Okay.
I think we took
I can expend
really
one charge
cool
to
rope.
relocate them. So
Okay.
if we want to use that, this is the last time I can do it. For now.
Is that the plan?
I'm completely out of spells. So.
Well, we got to go down there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving that portal, I'm gonna put it on the wall
Okay.
to make it easier for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I look down there, can I see another wall to put it on?
It's completely dark, so if you don't make some light down there, if you need to be able to see, then
Yeah,
you
we
need
have
to make some
dancing
light
lights,
down there.
so-
Yeah. So I think actually one of the things that you'll see as you before I move everybody, as you create the dancing lights down there, you hear a huh? And then you look down and you see that there's a blue slod in that area who is kind of poking around in the dark. And you won't see him right now, but here, let me put him on the right. Is it? Why can I not grab that guy? Is he on the wrong layer? That's weird. For some reason, it won't let me grab this token.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fine. I can grab a different one, but I put a little token there that it was. Oh, you know what it is that I've got the wrong tool. That's what the problem was. I had the There we go. So I think as you've moved the light down there, you have attracted the attention of a blue slot that's down there and now looking up at all of you. So you're seeing, like, if you go up to the top half of the map again, you see where I'm indicating?
I gotta zoom out. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's how far away?
He's 40 feet down on the ground down there.
I think I'm going to fire at him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, launching chill touch.
Okay. I think
So are
Percival
we
is.
back in.
I'm not going to put us in proper initiative right now because he has no
Okay.
way to attack back at you at the moment.
Okay.
And I think yeah.
Is it this
Percival,
guy?
Yes. Percival
Okay.
is sending some ray of frost down there as well.
I'm gonna hit him with Sacred Flame.
Okay.
I guess I'll just Eldritch Blast him as well. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all going
Um,
all in.
I think that what happens is we spend a few rounds here of all of you pelting him with cantrips from range, and he can't do anything about it, and he seems to be too dumb to like run away and get help or whatever. So he just keeps yelling at you and jumping and trying to claw and like run into different corners, and then you eventually just take him out.
I think I've seen that movie both in that's seen both in gangster movies and in horror movies, where the gangsters open up a door and someone yells out of them and they just obliterate them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very satisfying sometimes.
All right. So you are now able to use the hither thither wand to put yourself down there.
Yay.
And Percival says, "So I know how to get to the arcane core, but I can't guarantee there aren't going to be more of those things in our way."
That would be a strange thing to try to guarantee.
Yeah, we're like Buster needs healing, and I'm out of spells.
As much as like that sucks, there's really nothing we can do about it right now. We cannot just drop down and take a big rest here. Like we're
Um,
kind of in
I
a
know.
dangerous place.
If Buster's truly in danger, he could go rest in the tower.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best idea.
Buster is looking at you and kind of giving a little bit of a like big puppy dog eyes whine.
Such a good boy, but I want you to be safe.
All
Go
right.
tower.
Okay. So Buster goes in, and Percival just says, "That thing's a monster."
He's not a monster. He's
My
He's
emotional
best
support.
boy.
Yeah,
he's Buster.
he's Buster.
Okay, like just for clarification, I guess I meant monster in a positive sense. He looks badass.
Oh,
I saw what he
okay,
did to that
yes.
guy.
Oh yeah, he's badass.
I mean,
All right.
both senses are kind of appropriate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, like if you got down to it technically, I
Mhm.
mean, he would probably show up in like a bestiary as a monster, but yeah,
And
he's
I just want to say, right now, what I'm doing because my goal here was never to blow up the world. So if we can
We're
shut
going to
down
need
this,
to talk at length about that.
what I was actually just getting around to say is that I respect that you all recognize that there's higher priorities right now than dealing with me. And if whatever you want to say to me afterwards is fine, but I think we needed to get this arcane core first. And I'm just was going to say I appreciate that you all seem to have your priorities in order.
It's
And
a
with
little
that, he
hard to
just kinda
have
starts
discussions when the
walking
world
away.
ends.
Yeah, he's like not even. He's walking away. It's this way.
Walk this way.
And this door you can see is already like partly. It's squeezed open like 4 inches, and he kind of looks at you and says, "The rest of you probably need to open that wider." And then he like. You know how like rodents can just like squish themselves through impossibly tiny little holes. He does that through
Mhm.
this like 4-inch gap in the door.
All right. Well, I still have the giant strength, so
Hmm
I
I
just
will
turn to Lynn and I'm just like, so gross.
open the door.
All right. Go ahead and make an
can't-
athletics check, but you're probably fine. Okay, yeah, 27. That's fine. All right, so you see again, still dark, but a long hallway in front of you with various, doors on the left and right, and you can see there's a intersection in the hallway to the south there. And Percival says, uh, the arcane core is we take the hallway on the left down there towards the end and then take another left and then through a long corridor that's probably trapped. But that's where the arcane core is. And I don't know if the traps are going to still work with the power off. But also, all
Oh,
the other containment systems that were holding all of the other things prisoner here are probably off too. So,
yeah. Well, the chaos of the fighting seems to be helping us right now.
mhm.
So I say we roll with it. I'm gonna cast light on the front of my shield
Okay.
so that I'm not walking around in the dark.
Yeah. All right. So I think he's creeping forwards stealthily with the seeming impression that he assumes you're right behind him.
I am. Apparently, the rest of my
Is well. So is everybody roll? If everybody's being stealthy, roll a stealth check.
Mm,
I mean, what is stealth really?
something I can't do very well.
8.
Okay. Well, that natural 20 sure helps.
Can't roll a wisdom saving throw to save my life, but I
Uh-huh.
get a natural 20 on a stealth check that I have a plus 13 to.
Yeah. So let's see. 13, 8, 16, 8, or 7, 33. Like that 33 kind of really um, bumps it up. Okay, so here's the thing. Like what's our average here? I'm going to math it a little bit. You know what? I'm going to say that you who has a high passive perception? I think a couple of you have a pretty high
I
passive
do.
perception, right? Zinhorn does, I'm sure.
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a 20.
All right.
24.
Or
Okay.
passive perception? That's a 25.
Yeah. So I think what happens is you're all being quiet enough, but then the high passive perception is enough that you realize before you turn around the corner that there is something in the hallway that way. So you're not sure what it is, but you heard something moving over there, and you were able to stop your forward progress before you would have been where it could see you. So, what would you like to
All
do?
right. Um. So, I mean, I did pretty well on that, so I can go ahead and check it out.
Mhm.
Just kind of peek
Yeah.
around the corner.
Well, here's the problem, though. It's still dark, so if you don't have the light showing over there.
But I do have my dark vision 120 feet and true sight for 30 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, dark vision would certainly do it. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you peek around the corner and you see that it's one of the smaller gray slots. So they're tough, but they're not as big. But it's the ones that have a big sword, not the spellcasting ones. Actually, I
Okay,
take that back. They do cast spells. So my apologies.
I'm going to pass that on using message so that I'm not actually speaking.
Mm-hmm.
You said a gray one?
Yeah. But there seems to be just one, at least in the hallway.
And these things are classified as monsters, right?
Aberrations.
Aberrations. Because I think if I can find it, I believe, yeah, I have the Hold Monster spell.
Hold monster is certainly. Yeah.
Um,
I don't know
So I'm
how
gonna-
many of you have banishment left, but you've been having pretty good luck with that.
I'm gonna use, I'm gonna cast Hold Monster
Okay.
on that guy.
So that's a wisdom save, I believe.
Yep, 17.
All right. Well, they also have advantage on saving throws against spells, so he's going to make that wisdom save with advantage, but he's not good at those otherwise. So let's see. We got a 1 and a 16. So yes,
Yes.
you feel the spell take hold, and you watch as he like freezes in place.
All right.
So I assume then if we're fighting, then we're rolling initiative.
He's held in place, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nedry, put him in the bag.
It's
Where'd
probably
it go?
much easier when they're not squirming.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Just like pop him in there.
Well, let's see some initiative. Let's see how that works out.
How's that working for you?
All right. Did everyone get their new?
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Okay, so Lynn, despite having initiated this whole thing with your own spell, you are actually also first. I think maybe just because you cast the spell, you saw that it had worked, and so you were in the position to kind of like nod to everybody else and then move on.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm going to take this brief opportunity. Are we counting the Hold Monster as the first in the round?
So no. So you did that. That took effect. Now we're beginning this first round of initiative. That was a surprise attack.
Right, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to cast Healing Word on myself.
All right.
Give myself another 14,
Mhm.
which means I am up to 40 hit points.
All right. Great.
Okay.
So the slot is next, though, and so that means he gets to, he is paralyzed for this first turn, but it means he gets to try the saving throw again to try to beat the hold. And then he got a 17 this time. So, I think that 17 was what he needed. Yeah. All right. So
Yes.
So it took his whole turn for this round, but he does shake himself out of it and just snarl.
That was a success on a saving throw, wasn't it?
Yes.
I really want to try this. And
Yeah?
it smells a bit of magical energy for silvery barbs.
Okay. So
Force
what?
him
That
to
makes
reroll?
it makes him have to reroll.
And then gesture towards Zinhorn.
Huh?
So
Okay.
you'll have the
So he
optional
did
bonus.
just roll a 17 again. So, but hey, but you still get your own bonus, Zinhorn. What does he get? He gets advantage on one.
on your
something?
next attack roll,
Okay,
ability
great.
check, or saving throw within 1 minute.
Great. Cool.
Okay, I have a feeling I'm
Okay.
gonna need it.
All right, so the slide is no longer held, but he is also like, that took his whole turn.
Okay.
He's moving again.
Mm-hmm.
Cast Ray of Frost.
Well, you need to move your token up to where you would be
Oh,
able to
sorry.
do that. Yeah.
I think I can just barely see him there.
Yeah, I'll allow it. It's fine. We're Yep.
This is a attack roll. Okay.
Mhm.
A 12 to hit. Shoot.
12 does not hit.
Okay.
Okay.
That is the turn.
Zaylene.
I'm looking on the map trying to figure out which one of these guys is the guy.
This guy.
Oh, he's all the way down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not gonna work then.
Right.
So I'm going to I'm gonna do what I do best, I guess, and I'm just gonna go down here, and I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast
Okay.
because I'm pretty much out of everything else that's useful.
Mhm.
That's a natural 20.
That will hit, and it will do double damage too. In the
That's a
fashion of
29.
all right, also a hit. Wow.
And
Okay,
that's a
so some good rolls.
26.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll
So-
4d10 for those 3 hits, including one of them as a crit. All right. 8, 1, 2, 5. All right. So 16.
Yep.
All right. You pelted with the force energy. Okay.
Then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to squish back in here,
Okay.
and that's the end of my turn.
All right. Zinhorn.
Okay. So hold on one sec. 1, 10, 20, 30, 50. Okay. And I am going to do Sacred Flame. So he's got to beat a Dex saving throw of 17.
Okay. Dex. 4. That's a crit fail.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I would hope so. I would be
9
confused if you didn't.
points
All right.
Of fire damage, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant damage.
Okay. Yeah. You do that. Good job. Okay. It is.
Can I tell if he took the full damage or if he's resistant?
No. He's not resistant to radiant.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Percival's turn, and he just says, "All right, well, down to the last charge for today." And he reaches into his coat, and you can see that he's grasping the amulet. And as he sort of concentrates on it with his turn, all of his various wounds seem to to heal, and his clothes look no longer stained, and he no longer looks disheveled, and basically he looks like he's just restored himself to full. But he also looks a little bit like he regrets having to have done that. And then he says, we should probably not clump up like this. And so he's going to use his movement to run over to the other corner. All right, Lynn.
All right. I still have spells left, but I don't necessarily want to blow them all on this one guy. So I think I'm just gonna hit him with this. Yeah. I'm gonna hit him with Mind Sliver.
All right. That's an intelligence save.
Yes, 17.
Okay. Also not super good at those, but also rolling with advantage. So, nope, that's 2 14s, so that's going to fail.
Right. So that's 6 damage, and the first time it makes a saving throw before the end of my next turn, it has to roll a d4 and subtract.
Okay. That'll be that little yellow dot. But yeah, so now is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So now he runs forward, snarling, and then holds out his hand to cast a spell. And he casts Fireball, and so I need a Dex save from all of you.
No, he doesn't.
No? What are you going to do about it?
4th level counterspell.
All right, it works, and you see his spell kind of just fizzle. And he looks at his hand and says, Drat. So that's the end of his turn. Vertigo.
That cost me too much.
He's within 60 feet now, so
Mm-hmm.
he will lash out. I'm assuming that there wasn't any leftover energy because it kind of drained, kind of stepped away
Yeah,
from that
yeah. I
whole
think
business.
I
But
think you feel like it's what you have left is like containable in your body.
okay,
Like you're not in any danger.
okay. Um, maybe tap into that later. For now, just a frostbite.
Okay.
Constitution save at disadvantage because the mind sliver.
All right. Well, it's not disadvantage. It's minus with a D4. But
Oh, sorry.
yeah, that's all right. And so he is rolling with advantage. But so he got a 13 without the D4.
That's already a fail.
Yeah, and so it would actually be just an 11. So
Okay. And that's 11 points of cold damage. And
all
has
right.
disadvantage on the
Oh.
next weapon roll before the end of its next turn.
All right. He does look like he is resistant to cold damage.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's not really anywhere he can go, so he's going to stay there.
All right. Okay, Zaleen.
Okay, I'm just a one-trick pony today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pop out here on the other side of Vertigo, and I'm gonna fire off my Eldritch Blast again.
Sure. Okay. 22, 22, and 27. All three of those hit. Six and 1 and 2.
9.
All right.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to duck back in here, and I'm going to go down this far.
Okay. All right. Zinhorn.
Okay. What is the yellow dot on him?
That was the reminder for the mind sliver, which we used now. So.
Okay. I am going to move here and ensure everyone else gets a good what's-its, and I'm going to try my lightning breath weapon. on
Okay.
him.
It's a dex save.
Dex of 15.
Okay. I don't think he has advantage on that because it's not a spell. And it says, and other magical effects, but I'm going to say I don't think this counts. He does roll a 21, though.
Trying to remember.
Yeah. So it looks like it would be 17. Then half would be, 8. But he does look like also resistant to lightning.
Oh.
All right.
That's it for me.
Right. Percival. What does he do? Let's see. I think at this point he's saying, all of you have improved a lot, but this is taking too much time. And he is going to cast. What does he do? I think he is going to cast. Gosh, I'm just trying to. He's got so many good things. Okay, he is actually also going to. He's casting. What is this? Sorry, I've given him too much stuff. Doesn't do that. He's casting telekinesis. And he's using that to try to seize the creature. So it's going to make a strength check, which is not a saving throw. So it's just a check. And it gets a 17, which does not beat his DC. And so he has got it restrained in his telekinetic grip. And he, I think he uses the telekinetic grip to kind of like drag it over to here. And he says, let's finish it. And so, Lynn, you're up. He's currently restrained, like he's being held aloft, crushed in like a telekinetic grip.
Okay. Man, I wish I had better first level. I've got nothing that's really useful at that.
The nature of a non-linear dungeon crawl where you fought the boss already, but there's still stuff to do.
Yeah. So I will make it easier for someone else to kill him. I'm gonna hit him with Mind Sliver again,
All right.
just because he's a lower
Sure.
level guy. I don't want
All right. So he's doing his intelligence save again with advantage. But okay, roll. There we go. So that's a 17.
to. Yep, that'll beat it, or
Okay.
that meets it, rather.
Okay. So that's a cantrip?
Yeah, that's just a cantrip.
Okay. All right. So that has no effect on him. He is restrained. He is going to try to. Let's see. Let's see. Until the end of. Oh, so interestingly, I'm looking at the nature of this spell. The Slod cannot use an action to break free of the grapple. He is restrained until the end of Percival's next turn. Or rather, the start of Percival's next turn, and Percival would have to use his action again to maintain it. Interesting. Yeah. So that means that he is stuck restrained. He can. He is, however, going to try to flick a fear spell in which is a cone in the direction that is going to hit Percival and Vertigo and Lynn. So it's a wisdom saving throw for those three.
It's magical in nature, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was included in that.
No. It's a
No?
cone that he sent in the direction of more people.
Okay.
Just a 13 for me.
Okay. Percival, I think he doesn't have anything that makes him immune to fear. But I think I'm also I didn't make it mechanically that way, but I think he just is. He's kind of he eats fear for breakfast. For what was his DC? Yeah, okay, so that's a save for Vertigo, a fail for Lynn. So Lynn, you are currently frightened. You see a phantasmal image of your worst fears, and I think maybe for you suddenly see, as though he's teleporting right in front of you, the Lord of the Pillarines is back. He's not dead after all. And you are frightened, which means that you must use your action to dash and move away from the source of the fear on each of your turns. But as soon as you're out of line of sight, you can make a wisdom saving throw. So, like, if you run away, you'll be able to repeat the saving throw. All right. That was not as effective as he was hoping it would be. Vertigo.
I think much the same, but this time with fire.
Actually, are any of those? Of course, none
You
of
know
these are
these
dex
guys are
saves.
pretty much resistant to pretty much everything elemental.
Yeah, but I don't have anything
Yeah, I know.
that I can
I'm just
do differently.
Yeah.
Um,
Your attack rolls are with advantage.
that's true. No, chill touch again. Actually,
Okay. So that's a what? Constitution save?
it's a to hit.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
20 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
12 necrotic and cannot
All right.
regain hit points.
Nice. And he is not. Oh yeah. For that matter, I haven't been doing his regeneration, but now he won't get it anyway. Yeah. So that is. Yeah. He's not resistant to necrotic either. So. Okay. Yeah. Good. And now Zaleen.
Okay. I am looking at something real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So he is. I'm gonna do Toll the Dead.
All right. Wisdom save.
18. Yep.
Okay. All right. He fails. He gets a 16 even with advantage.
Okay, so he takes 3d12s.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So he takes 29
9. Yeah.
necrotic damage.
He's definitely a lot more hurt than he was before. Okay.
And that's my turn.
Yep. Zinhorn. He's still restrained in Percival's telekinesis.
I'm going to try Toll the Dead,
Okay. Yeah.
since that worked so well for
It sure
Zed.
did. You're not resistant to
Wisdom 17.
he fails. Okay. 19 damage. Yeah, he's looking pretty hurt now. Okay, Percival is going to just go ahead and use his action to try to retain the grip, but the slide now gets to try to beat it again. But he fails, so he is still restrained. Lynn, you are afraid, so you have to dash away.
Yep.
So I think from where you are, it probably makes the most sense that you would, run back into the hangar. But once you do that, you can try to repeat the saving throw.
So do I have to do the full dash, or is it just once I'm
You
out of
must
sight?
take the
'Cause-
dash action and move away by the safest route on your turn, unless there is nowhere to move. But if you end your turn in a location where you don't have line of sight of him, you can make the saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you get there, you can try to make the saving throw again.
19.
Yep, you save. You realize, wait, he tricked me. That jerk.
And now I'm very far away.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's
Mhm.
fine. It's fine.
All right.
Totally fine.
So it's his turn again, and he is gonna just say, "You know what? If I'm going out, I'm taking y'all with me." And he looks like he's about to cast Fireball again. Does that if there is not a counter spell coming from Vertigo?
Yeah, 5th level counterspell.
As you know what, I think as you're about to do that, Percival does it. So
No.
he beats you to the counterspell,
Thank you.
and then he just says, "Sure." I mean, yeah, okay. He looks like weirdly embarrassed to be thanked. All right, yeah. So the slot is just like, well, you know what? You guys are just no fun at all. All right, so that makes it your turn, Vertigo.
Okay. Time to be more no fun.
He's still restrained, so
Mhm.
chill touch once again.
Oh.
23 for 13 damage and
Hits.
cannot regain hit points.
And that's necrotic, yeah. And
Yep.
yeah, he is on the verge of destruction here. Zaleen. You're gonna get both the kill shots probably here.
I think since Toll the Dead worked so well, I'll just do that again. It's
Sure.
like overkill, but
Mm-hmm.
why not?
Yeah. All right. So he's gonna wisdom save.
18. Yep.
Nope. He fails.
He did.
Yeah.
I like to think that, this loud, dolorous
Mhm.
bell just like
Yeah.
makes his whole body tremble
Mhm.
and he turns to jello.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, as though drifting away in a non-existent wind, the silvery dust sort of just flutters off into the planar universe.
I wonder when we'll see him again.
Soon, I'm sure.
Right.
Hmm.
I will be right back.
Okay. So now that there is a moment, you all realize that there is a slightly shaded window in the wall to the west here. And you can see that through that window, you can see there's a laboratory. And in it, there's 5 big sort of, giant glass-walled vats. And 4 of them seem to have very strange sort of hulking creatures where their whole head looks like a big brain, and they're large creatures. And one of the vats on the leftmost seems to be broken, and there's a dead one of those things like laying at the base of it. Percival is not paying it any mind though, so he kind of moves up this way and he says, "This way." Don't everyone talk at once.
I was trying to. I have to go back and forth between Zoom and,
Okay,
and
yeah, that's right.
browser all the time.
Yeah.
So I
So,
get lost.
so gesturing at this door, he says, "The arcane car is through there, but I haven't been through there, so I don't know what traps there might be."
Well, there's really only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a couple of different ways. One of them
Mhm.
worse than the other, but we should try the easiest one.
All right.
Best one.
So,
Can we check for traps as we open the door?
I mean, you can, although the nature of Zinhorn having to pry the door open, makes it, like you can check to see if there seems to be any traps on the door.
I will do that. Is
Alright.
Is it investigation or perception?
I'm always torn on that. I think investigation because you're taking some time to check. It's
Okay.
not just whether you notice something or not. Okay.
20,
Yeah.
30.
You don't think there seems to be any, so other than the fact that this door is currently unpowered, you don't see anything else about it that seems suspicious. So,
Seems fine.
yeah. Can we get an
Alrighty.
athletics check from Zinhorn to pry this one open?
Alrighty.
All right.
16.
All right.
24.
Yep, you are able to open that one. You see another short hallway with another door on the far side.
Okay.
Well, we can try a few things.
Um,
Simple traps might be affected by this,
And he'll shake out a hand and shake out the mage hand and just start patting the floor
Okay.
to see if there's any reaction. It's not very strong. It doesn't know if it'll work, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
I have a thing that you gave me.
And
The monocle of secret seeing,
oh,
which has it's a
That-
custom one,
that's the Fae thing, right?
but oh yeah, sorry, no, that's not. Tells you what your heart pretends.
So the
Yeah.
Does the
So
heart
room
that
is
pretend to be
was
building.
normal?
So that's like if a person is keeping a secret.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Nope, that's not gonna.
But yeah. So I think Percival just says it's also with the power out. I think most of the traps they usually do might not work normally, but that doesn't mean it's safe precisely.
I'm gonna Leroy Jenkins into the room,
All right.
into the hallway.
Yeah. And as you walk into the hallway and stride across it, you reach the door on the other side and nothing happens.
Leroy Jenkins.
You did it.
I'm when I get to the other side, can I
Mhm.
check that door also
Yep,
for
mhm.
traps? 26.
Okay. Yep. It once again seems to be free of any sort of traps that are on the door.
Okay. I'll pass that information on to
Alright.
the muscle.
Okay. So let's. You know what? Since you're not in a hurry right now, I think you're strong enough that we don't have to keep rolling to push open the door. It might just take more or less time, but you'll get it. So
Okay.
you've opened up another big vestibule room here, but what is immediately obvious here is that there are in the room several big places where enormous metal pistons that look like they would normally retract up into the ceiling are just resting on the floor in several spots. So it looks like these are traps that would be designed to like be a crusher if it was active, but with the power off, they're just extended and settled on the floor.
All right. I have a death wish, so I'll just go.
All right, yeah. Percival follows you. You go through, and it seems like this is the trap that was in this room. It's not functional right now.
I will check the door again.
All right. So the
Another 26.
yeah. You're not seeing any traps on the doors right now. When Zinhorn pries it open, there's a brief moment where it just opens into nothing. It's an elevator shaft, but the elevator car is not like there. Looks like just a hole right now, and then it extends up into darkness as well.
Is there like a ledge on the opposite side?
No. So the map here looks two-dimensional, but it's actually not.
Okay.
So what you just see is a blind elevator shaft that extends both upwards and downwards into darkness. Percival says, "I think it's down."
All right, give me a second. I will see what I can find.
I'm gonna drop light balls
Okay.
into the darkness. I'm gonna dancing lights,
Mhm.
and spread them out like 120 feet.
Sure. You see that the shaft does go up about 30 feet, and you can see the bottom of what you suspect is probably the elevator car, and it has big spikes on the bottom of it. But it also seems to be stationary where it is. And then below, you see that there is about 60 feet down, but there is a door on the far side of the shaft below. You don't know what there might be up because the elevator is in the way.
So I know that you said it's 60 feet.
Yeah.
I have 50 feet of hempen rope, but I also believe that at one point we got the never-ending rope from Sequential.
I think you probably do. It makes sense. It seems plausible that you would.
I mean,
Um,
he actually gave us like the entire sheet of everything he had and was like,
yeah.
whatever you guys need. So
I think as you are getting ready to do that, Percival says, "No, hang, I got this one." And he casts a spell, and it's very much like the effect of your hither thither wand, Lynn. He casts arcane gate, and he creates an opening at the bottom of the shaft that you can go into from an opening up where you are.
that works too.
Well, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Once again, thank you. Saves us some time and energy. Energy.
Zaleen Jenkins, I'm
Mhm.
going in the hole.
And he says, I, I don't. I have to maintain concentration on it to keep them here. So here's a question. I know something that I think will destroy the core, but I'll have to use my concentration on that as well. Do we have a plan for getting out of here?
I do.
We do?
The gate
I
spell?
always have a plan.
Are we using the gate spell?
Ultimately.
Okay.
You know, at the reference to the gate spell, he's like, huh. Oh, right, that tablet. Right, okay. So then he directs everybody to go ahead and go through the arcane gate and then passes through it himself, leaving you all at the bottom of the elevator shaft, I gather?
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So there's another short hallway and another door, and then that one opens into an enormous round chamber with a big machine in it that you suspect could only be an enormous arcane core. But although it would be impressive for any of you, Vertigo, having been studying this whole thing, it seems clear to you now that, like, you've seen these arcane cores. Like, this one does seem of a type that could generate the sort of energy needed to cause the destruction that you heard about. So it seems like it wasn't an idle threat. This could really have done it.
Mm.
It is now have some charge in it, but it is no longer being powered. And you think that anything destructive enough to destroy it would probably also be destructive enough you wouldn't want to necessarily be nearby. But that otherwise, it's not going to blow up the world if you destroy it.
That's good to know.
All right. And so I think Percival says, what was your plan for this if I hadn't shown up?
Well, it was sort of one step at a time. If you hadn't shown up, we probably would have been dead, and that wouldn't have meant any matter to this at all. But thankfully you did. But there were hopes that this could be disabled remotely if necessary, or that we could move this in through somewhere else. As it is, I'm hoping that a more gentle approach might be successful. It's Rupin all over again, isn't it? Build something so big that you can destroy everything just in case you need to. It's kind of a foolish notion, really. They're really small, aren't they? They don't really think big, even though they think they do.
While they're having this conversation, I just kind of lean into Zinhorn and I'm like, I whisper like really quietly, I'm like, do you still want
Percival, I think, just says, well, I think sometimes it's just a matter of knowing what your priorities are.
Hmm.
I have something I think can do it. It's a variant of Fireball, but I can set it started, and then we can get to a safe distance, and when it goes off, it'll be much bigger than a regular Fireball.
Might be effective.
Will it hurt the people who are still alive here? Like, will it cause like a catastrophic event because the core explodes?
It shouldn't, now that we've shut the power off. It might have if we hadn't.
Let me try this first.
And once again, Vertigo will reach into his pack and pull out a very small item.
Okay.
In theory, this should be related. I might need to make some creative adjustments.
And he pulls out the item he got from York, which was a device to drain orbs of their power.
Okay.
And he's going to proceed to try to slowly drain off the power that's in here first.
Okay. I think as you connect it, it starts dissipating the energy. You think it could get the energy down to 0, but it could take hours. That said, make an Arcana check. Okay.
I don't want to re-roll that, but I've rolled enough ones
well,
tonight
I
to not
mean-
want to.
I mean, you tell me.
Ah,
This is kind
yeah,
of
why not?
this is a high stakes one.
With his last sorcery point, he'll try to re-roll this to get something better.
Yeah. Well,
That's better.
26
26.
is better. So, you think that now that the power supply has been shut off for it, it does have some stored energy in it, but it is enough that it would probably destroy this fortress. But probably that would be it as it stands right now. You could, if you feel like you have hours to spare, dissipate it all and make it less destructive in that way, so that it would probably just destroy the machinery itself without any broader collateral damage. But it would take probably 2 to 3 hours to do that.
So, we may have time, or we may not. This can be done quickly and messily. Or we could just defend this space for a little while, not cause more destruction than necessary.
Why would you risk that? Who are you trying to protect?
They may be small, but they're still alive.
What, the Pillarines?
Some of them might be willing to share their knowledge.
I couldn't have gotten here and done what I needed to do without all of your help. And now that I've gotten my part, it's only fair that I try to help you do whatever you're trying to do, even if it seems foolish to me. So, if that's what you want, then fine.
We have a way out. We don't need the way we came in. No one else can come in through that way if we block it off. It might give us some time to talk.
He kind of sits down cross-legged and folds his arms again. Again, it just looks like he's got sort of a gnome-sized body with these double-length limbs, so it's kind of a strange posture. And he just says, if you leave any of them alive, they'll probably just try to build this again. But if that's what you want.
They came this far before, right? And others could do the same. By your logic, we should just destroy everyone who might have the potential of coming here again.
He looks like that. He kind of shrugs.
That's Rupino logic. I mean, he's brilliant, but sometimes you have to give things a chance to work themselves out.
That hasn't been my
And
experience of the world.
no, but I mean, if you think about what Rufino did and how that worked out for him, I mean, we can't just go around preventing people from growth because they might grow wrong.
I'll tell you what I do. Is I choose who I care about and who I want to protect, and I do everything and anything necessary to do that.
Who would you want to protect?
They're out of everyone's reach now. Doesn't matter.
As an intellectual exercise, it does.
All right, I suppose I owe you the story at this point. As you probably guessed, did not always look like I do now. I grew up in a small underground community of gnomes, and my whole life and generations upon generations before me, our whole history of our little community, we thought we were the only people in the world. We didn't have contact with anyone outside of our little area. We were self-sufficient to ourselves. We were happy that way. And then one day, I don't know, call it fate, call it accident, I don't care. I got caught in a cave-in and found myself in a tunnel that I was unfamiliar with. And in trying to find my way back, I found out how wrong we had been, how much there is beyond that little network of caves that we knew. And everything I saw of the people and the things, the creatures, the gods, the spirits outside of our little cave made me more and more sure that the friends and family I left behind were better off not knowing about any of this. And so I dedicated my life to making sure they could stay that way. So now, this miraculous bubble that they had created around this island, now it's around my home.
So you just made that choice for everyone on your own?
I was the one cursed with the knowledge I could protect everyone else from it.
Well, how do you know everyone would have seen it as a curse?
I had to make that call for myself, didn't I? I was the only one able to understand the implications. What was I supposed to do? Go down and ask everyone individually? That would require me telling them this horrible truth. The whole point was that they would never have to find out. And so, in the process, I knew it was possible that the level of power I needed to find and obtain to accomplish this, it's possible my commitment might waver. So I made some arrangements for certain bargains, curses, compulsions that would keep me on the path. Now I've done it, and so I don't have much left planned for myself. I owe you this amulet back, and as soon as I hand it to you, I will die. So I suppose what left of my life is in your hands. Let me know what you'd like me to do with it.
You know that the bubble is flawed, right?
Flawed? What do you mean flawed? I mean, I know why it would be seen as flawed from the perspective of people trying to contain the level of power that is on this island of that size. Sure, I can see why they would call it flawed. I think it's just perfect for what I need. Now, admittedly, it caused more of a mess out here than I would have predicted. And I'm not happy about that. But like I said, I did what I needed to do to protect the people I care about.
Well, there are two flaws, really. Maybe more, only two that come to mind immediately. One, the barrier is not impassable. We've already demonstrated that. And if we can do it, then others could as well. And the other is that it's not created by will alone. It's created by hope. And your hope is flawed. All things that come to this area with hope in their minds and hearts find the result to be not what they expected. Some small flaw of character, some small element of your being that can send us astray will do so. It's a test in a way, I suppose. A test that's designed so difficultly that nothing can actually succeed. So your intentions were golden, but some of your gold was impure.
Here's
I
where you're wrong. The Dinutherians brought themselves to this because they wanted the power without paying the price. I'm willing to pay it. Been paying it for years. And now I'm going to give the rest of what I've got to it.
Interesting theory. I'll have to think on that. I hope, for your sake, that you're right. But if I've dealt with any of this in a fairly intellectual way, I have to admit that the one thing which is constant throughout all of this is doubt.
I haven't been able to afford any doubt for some time.
It's too bad. It's very useful. It's the basis of all understanding, really. The deepest power which moves the universe is not force of hope or will, it's doubt. What if? What could be different? What could be happening behind all of that stuff? It's a shame that you took that away from your people, because they could have excelled. Now they will grow to fill a space that will probably be too small at some point, and they'll wonder, why have they been put in such a prison? Or maybe not. Maybe
I just
someone will slip
know-
through and bring them doubt.
I just know that I grew up there. I knew what I thought and felt before. And then when I saw what was outside, no. I took it upon myself to protect my people from this. Whatever it took.
I'm saddened by whatever you saw that made you so jaded. I suppose your people have never fought with each other, never disagreed, never lied, never wanted something that someone else had, never played a joke on someone that went wrong, never had a disagreement that elevated beyond reason. That's remarkable. Although I'm afraid that the one example I see before me does not display all those traits. It makes me doubt.
Putting words in my mouth, I never said they were perfect. And as for myself, I am no longer representative of the people where I came from. I had to make myself into a monster to get done what I needed to do. I'm no doubt whatsoever that I would not be welcomed back, as I am now.
You described yourself as a monster. Interesting. Do monsters do bad things? Have bad thoughts? Do they ever stray from their goals?
I think that to a tiny mouse, the cat that hunts it and devours it alive is a monster. But that cat's just doing what it needs to do.
In the end, it's just subjective. And you won't be around to find out what happens or face the consequences. So it doesn't matter. And I think as much as I appreciate your efforts, I think you're right to call yourself a monster.
Better term than failure. That one hurts too much.
Well, I'm
Unless you can rise above it.
not a failure. I did exactly what I intended to do. What do you mean failure?
How do you know what happened is what you meant to have happen? How do you know that it succeeded? All you know is what has failed here, not what has succeeded elsewhere. And if you're so willing to give your life up now, that means that you're not even willing to check if you were wrong.
You don't know what you're talking about. I was the one that went to the pillar.
Sure. As if many people before, I suspect. And every single one of them thought they were right. Maybe some of them were able to find out later. Maybe some of them succumbed to their own wishes. But at least enough of them would have checked before they were entirely certain.
You don't know what you're talking about. Is my plan perfect? I don't know. I'm not perfect. But I saw a problem, and I set out to solve it. I did something about it. And now
True.
it's done. And
Now
if there
things
is
have
something
changed.
after all of this that wants to tell me I did it wrong, then whatever, I'll deal with that when it comes. But I'm not going to apologize for trying to save my people.
Good. You're getting better. You're allowing doubt. You've tried to save your people. Now you have to check and see what you've truly done. But there's a problem. If what you've done has not been what you wanted, what would you do?
To check would defeat the entire purpose. The whole point is that they're sealed away. To open it to look to see what they're doing would be to risk exposure, which is the entire thing that I intended to prevent.
Not necessarily. We've already seen a device that can peer beyond this dome. One can be built again. Maybe even that one used if it's repaired or altered, changed.
Look, if you think I deserve to die for what I did, I can't argue. I never did this for me.
Well,
Is
actually,
that
you
what
did.
you
but
want? Do you want to die? Are you done with your life?
I've made promises. Those promises need to be kept. Whether you do it now by taking this necklace, or one of the many other people I owe comes to collect, I don't have much time.
I walk up to him and hold out my hand for the necklace.
We need him to destroy the thing first.
He takes it off and he hands it to you and he says, if the attunement breaks, I'll die.
Are you still willing to cast your not fireball?
I said I would. Can't if I'm dead.
I say we do it.
Has enough energy reduced out of the sphere that it would be a little less than completely catastrophic? Obviously not at the same, not at the level we would hope for, but
Well, so I think that like it would be very destructive, less than it would have been. But I mean, it's a kind of a case of like, are you going to try to go and sound an evacuation order somehow, or what are like?
No, I think the Pillarines need to die as well as the Slod.
as long as that's as far as it goes. And you forget the purpose of this thing was actually to release the weapon itself. This will at
So,
least make that weapon more accessible.
well, so I mean, the intention was to like disintegrate the whole mountain that's around it. You think right now it's more like it would blow up the fortress, which is just at the top.
I think it's time.
Yep.
All right. Once I start the spell, let me double check the rules of the spell. I think. Yeah, I think that it lasts. Hang on. What is this? Okay. Yeah, so basically it lasts 1 full minute and it will go off at that time. So once I start it, we'll need to be gone by the time a minute's up.
Are you coming with us to die?
You tell me.
Or are you staying here?
I'm not
think
in
you
a
should come with
hurry
us.
to finish it, but I accept that may be my fate.
I would take your body back. Oh crap! What's the name of my city?
Pashan?
Pashan to Pashan. Since you were the one that slayed my emperor.
There is a point of having to pay for the things you've done.
Mm-hmm. Always knew that was the price.
I mean,
Can I ask you, when you went to the pillar, it just did you have to like ask it specifically for something? What was that experience even like?
His eyes kind of get far away, and he says, I hope that I have persuaded you already that I am not holding anything back at this point. So I hope that you will not believe that I am doing so when I tell you. I don't think I could describe it. It is bigger than us. It's older than us. I'm not sure our brains can really comprehend it. It felt like I was transparent like glass. And it saw through me, and where that glass focused its energy, it acted. I don't think I could explain it any better than that. The choice was only in walking up to it. But then I also had spent many years training my body and mind and placing magical compulsions on myself to be sure that when the time came, there wouldn't be any misunderstandings.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to write some of that down. I'm curious about your methods.
Can't do that if I'm dead.
That is not my choice to make, I'm afraid.
Shrugs again.
Although I could circumvent writing, at least briefly, if you were willing to submit.
I don't know what you mean. I'm pretty much as submitted, I think, as anyone can be right now, but I don't know what you mean.
Minds are incredible books that are often not read. But I can read them.
Oh, well. I'm not sure you'll like what you see, but be my guest.
I've just realized that I have something here.
Oh, yeah?
So I've unattuned to this because I replaced the slot
Mm-hmm.
with something else. But I have this ring of mind shielding,
Okay.
and if you
Oh.
die while wearing the ring, your
Hmm.
soul enters it, unless there's already a soul in it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as your soul is in the ring, you can telepathically communicate with any creature wearing it.
Yeah?
So I want to give that to Vertigo. And I'm going to hand it to him. You gave me a gift once, and I think this might be something of equal measure to return the favor. And put it in his hand. If you give him this, it has properties that it will preserve him within the ring. If that's something he wants, I would not force it. But you can ask.
What an intriguing idea. It opens up a world of possibilities. So
He may not want that, though. I don't know that I would want to be trapped in a ring for eternity. But if, and kind of looking at Percival now, if you were interested in having your life mean even more, like being able to do more in the world, it's an option.
So
It's up
I,
to you.
I think once you show him the ring, he looks at it and just says, "Oh." Sure. Honestly, there are other individuals who would probably claim my soul otherwise. Can't imagine being in that ring is worse than what they would have planned.
That was kind of the feeling that I got. And while I don't agree with a lot of what you've done, um, I don't believe, I think your intentions at the start were good. And that alone should be enough reason to offer you whatever small comforts I can.
He kind of sits and he's kind of nodding to himself, and I think there's a moment where he's kind of just looking down at his hands, and it's a little hard to know what he's feeling at the moment. I suppose people could make an insight check if they were so inclined.
Oh, I'm all on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 14, an
An
8. um, yeah, I think that with an 8, you're not sure. This guy's a weirdo. Who knows what he's thinking? Um, with 14, I think you think he is kind of struggling through a couple of different reactions. Because on the one hand, he is someone who seems to have become fatalistic after having been for decades single-minded and obsessive, because he feels that he has done the thing he needed to do, right? That has got to be a disorienting feeling. But then again, he also is being offered something that's probably better than what he would have had otherwise. And he's getting some words of moderate kindness from people that he is not treated well. It's complicated. But also, he is a super weirdo. He has got who knows what's going on in that brain of his. He's talking about having like made deals and bargains and curses on him to make sure that his brain would not betray him and do the wrong thing when he reached the pillar. God only knows what he's got going on in there. But at the very least, he seems like he is struggling with complicated, conflicting feelings.
Well, do we want to let him think about it for a minute and find out what happens next week?
Well, I would, yeah. So I think that if perhaps the agreement, I think he is willing to use the ring, and so I would like us, because it just feels satisfying to me, that if no one feels like we're cutting short role play that you would want to have, I think we can maybe just create a little sort of narrative cutscene here that you have drained the core enough that you think that the destruction would limit the impact to only the fortress itself here at the top of the mountain. Um, Percival casts his delayed response fireball, and you are using gate to go where?
It has to be a different plane of existence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only challenging part.
Mm-hmm.
We're still welcome in the lands of Fae, right?
Mhm.
I think that would be a place to recoup and recover.
Sure.
So it would be not directly in the main court,
Yeah,
but
you
kind
just
of outside it,
show up
respectively.
right in front of the thrones. But
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hi, Lord of the Hunt, we
Mhm.
missed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also though that like yeah, so I think you appear there and there's some initial surprise, but you are, you know, honored guests of the Fae at that royal court. You know, there's attendance there, and if you would all prefer to go ahead and end here and then role play more of this later, we can. But I think that that he is basically willing to proceed with this plan, which is to say he is willing to attune to the ring and then surrender the amulet and physically die.
It might be best for him to surrender the amulet in the court so they can show the evidence that he had it.
I already
Uh,
have the amulet.
Well,
But
but you have to break the attunement before he would
Yeah.
die. But yeah,
Right.
so
He could put it
certainly.
back on temporarily.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's willing to do it however you like, but yeah, to do it in front of witnesses, if that's just the idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That he clearly had the amulet. We take it off and he dies.
Yeah. And so I think once the attunement breaks, he kind of just collapses, and immediately it's as though about his body just suddenly seems to take about 40 times as much damage as it would take to kill him, as though all of the various injuries and things that it had had prevented before come back. And he is gone, but the ring is there, and you can feel him inside. And he says, "Interesting." And I think maybe that's where we can that's where we can end tonight's session. Congratulations, you have stopped the Pillarines from destroying the mountain, and who knows what else might have been destroyed without your intervention. And I would like to congratulate you all on leveling up once again.
Oh dear.
Wait. What level are we at?
I
I think I need to take another class now.
48, 52,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Mark's just gonna multi-class like crazy.
Is
Well, Vertigo-
17 the one where I have access to the wish spell?
It is. Because, of course, that has been the message of this whole campaign, is that wishes solve everything. Anyway, I think that's where we're going to leave it for this time. But thank you, everyone, for listening and or watching. And we will be back next week for more adventure on so many levels.
So many
So
extra levels.
Many levels.